When I first started stitching machine embroidery designs, I would purchase a card here or there, a design here or there, and it was easy to keep track of where I put the designs and where I put the thread charts and where I had all of them. But as time went on, of course, I had accumulated more and more and more, and my stash of embroidery designs continued to grow. And it soon became a problem of what did I have, what didn't I have, and I didn't want to, of course, purchase duplicates. So I had to come up with some way to catalog all my embroidery designs so I would know where they're at and so I could easily find them and reference back to them to see what I had. So what I did is, first of all, I keep all my embroidery designs in this bookcase. I keep all my cards here, I keep all my embroidery CDs here, and I also keep a notebook of all the thread charts. Then I also have a copy of all of those on my computer so they're easy to get to. So let me show you my embroidery cards. They're actually all in this toolbox right here. You can see I have plenty here. These are all embroidery cards that will fit into my machine. Now what I have done, because this is much easier for me, is I have actually taken all the designs off of every single individual card and put it on my computer. So I actually have a folder on my computer with every single card in it, and every single design is on my computer. That way it's easy to get to. For example, if I want to stitch out some of these paper dolls, I don't have to go get my embroidery card and put it in the machine, and then eventually I'll be putting it back into my computer in my software because I want to change it. Why would I want to stick with the original pattern? So instead, I did take the time and took off all the designs on the cards and have them on my computer. It takes a lot of time to do that, especially when you have a large amount of a collection of cards. But for me, in the end, it has been a real time saver, and I have the designs there. I can quickly bring them up in my software, send them to my machine, and stitch them out. That's just what I like to do with my embroidery cards. When embroidery machines first came out, and when I started doing machine embroidery, the only way the designs came were on embroidery cards. And you would stick that card in your machine, and then you could access the embroidery designs. Well, technology has improved, and so has machine embroidery and the software to use with it. So what the embroidery company started doing is they started putting all their CDs, or all their embroidery designs, onto CDs. And they would package a thread chart with the embroidery CD, and that would have all your designs on it. You could put that CD in your computer, bring up the design in your software, and send it to your machine to stitch out. Well, actually, that was a much easier alternative for me because I was putting all my embroidery designs on the computer anyway from my embroidery cards. So to have them on a CD was 10 times easier and much, much faster for cataloging designs. So what I started to do is take the CD out of the jewel case or out of the little sleeve that it was in and package it in CD books like this. The reason for that was I began to accumulate so many CDs that I needed some way to store them effectively. Jewel cases take up a lot more space. Sometimes the little sleeves wouldn't always hold the embroidery CDs. So I started putting them in books. And this kept them much cleaner, and I was much easier to access them. So actually I have these categorized by the companies by who they were from. These CDs, the embroidery designs, are from Great Notions. And I'll pull down another sleeve here. And the designs that I have on here are actually some designs from OESD that I downloaded from OESD's website, embroideryonline.com, and I put them onto CDs so I'd have a backup copy. Some of them are just little samples here and there. I also have Subox CDs down here. So I have those. This is kind of my miscellaneous embroidery CD book. Then in this bottom CD book, and this one is actually almost completely full, I have my designs from Bernina and OESD. And these are all the catalog of my designs. I can put in my computer any one of these designs and bring up the CD, which has the embroidery designs, into my software. One thing I have started doing also is I put all these designs that are on the CDs still on my computer. When I'm working on a project, trying to create something, I'll think of I'll remember a design I have and think, okay, where is it? It's much easier for me to go to my computer and look under 10 dozen folders trying to find that design or use a search feature than it is to go and look through each one of these CDs. Otherwise, I would have to take out a CD, look at it on my computer, put it back, do that, so on and so forth. If I use the search feature on my computer and I have all my designs on there, it's so much easier to find them. So that's the way that works really well for me. I really like keeping my CDs in a holder like this because it keeps them nice and organized, keeps them clean, and I can easily take them somewhere if I'm needing to travel with them also. And I don't have to have 10 dozen jewel cases that are running around and being misplaced. They're all right here, exactly where I need them. The newest kind of technology that embroidery companies are using to store embroidery designs is on a USB key. And your designs will come on a little key like this. You can put this directly into the side of your machine, open up the designs, or you can also put this into your computer and open up the designs, bring them into your software, print templates, print thread charts, anything you want. These also I actually store in a little drawer over by the rest of my notions. I also catalog these on my computer. I take all the designs off, put them on my computer, and that way I have easy access to them. The good thing about USB keys is they're, of course, the latest technology. They're much smaller than CDs. You can store a lot more on them. And they're so much more reliable than CDs, embroidery cards, or floppy disks ever were. So if you have the option of purchasing, when you're purchasing embroidery collections, a lot of times you'll have the option whether to purchase a card, a CD, a USB key. If you have the ability to use a USB key, do that as your first choice. CD would be my second choice, and an embroidery card would be my third. Some machines will not take a USB key, so that's out of the option. The other thing is some machines will not take a CD-ROM, which is out of your options then. But the advantage is if you have computer software and you can hook up your machine to your computer, you can use a CD or a USB key most of the time, depending on your machine, to send the design over. So if you have an option, USB key is by far the greatest way to go to store all your embroidery designs on. Now that I've shown you where I keep and how I store my embroidery cards, CDs, and USB keys, I'd like to show you what I do with my thread charts. As much as I love computers and as much as I work on one, seems like 24 hours a day,